Electricast.
There are people out there all across the country pushing boundaries to grow the game of golf. Like champion speed golfer Lauren Cupp, who plays faster than anyone else. And Will Lowry, whose work in the golf community inspires more kids to get into the game. As a champion partner of the Masters, Bank of America supports everyone determined to find out what's possible. In golf and in life. What would you like the power to do? Bank of America. Bank of America N.A. member FDIC, copyright 2025, Bank of America Corporation, all rights reserved.
McDonald's meets the Minecraft universe with one of 6 collectibles and your choice of a Big Mac or 10-piece McNuggets with spicy Nether Flame sauce. Now available with a Minecraft movie meal.
At participating McDonald's for a limited time, a Minecraft movie only in theaters.
Welcome to Missing the Point. If this is your first time listening to us, we thank you for tuning in. You can find us wherever you find your podcast. I'm your host, Hollywood Ray Sean Buchanan. And today we got our guy to step behind the veil. You've heard his voice every now and then, especially if you're an OG listener, AKA the Denvers. That's an inside joke, but our producer, our brother.
It's an old ass joke. I was like 21 when I did that.
Well, that's to say for those that listen to us from Dean, y'all know what that was, man. But we got the OG in the house, our producer, my guy, my brother Craig Delosantos in the house. So what's up, man? How you doing?
This is what they I think this is what they call I think what the government is currently calling a pulse check, or just checking to see how you're doing. Are you alive? Are you there? What did you do? What are the 5 things you did last week? Just to make sure people know that I actually exist and I am actually a human being alive doing this stuff. So
right, if you don't turn it into determination, right? Because that's what they
right.
said.
I mean, what else do I do in the show? I don't do anything else besides this, right?
Crazy. So listen, speaking of termination, listen, we are 2/3 of the kayfabe critics. Our brother Mike could not be with us tonight, but we could not go a week without getting y'all this content because everyone's talking about it. It is the heel turn around the world, literally. It's led on ESPN. It's led everywhere. Like it's been crazy. John Cena, Mr. Hustle, Loyalty, and Respect. Wins the Elimination Chamber. Steals his ticket to WrestleMania to main event with Cody Rhodes. Most likely on night 2, but we'll get into that closer to the date. But yeah, just what were your initial thoughts seeing that unfold in the moment?
So Big E, who did the post show for Elimination Chamber that night, pretty much encapsulated all of my feelings for how I was supposed to feel for that and going into it. How it was pretty much we all felt it was kind of supposed to go. This is Cena's farewell tour. He's got 1 year left. He's got another 10 months to do all this. He's gonna go on. He's gonna do what he's done for the last 20 years or so. And he's just gonna be, it's gonna be hugging, kissing babies, hustle, loyalty, respect. Hi Stu, how you doing? It's gonna be John Cena. We all think he's gonna win his 17th title during this thing. I still think he's gonna do it. But we just kind of figured it'd be John Cena going the whole way, and it looked like that through the entire duration of until we got there. Because the Elimination Chamber, great match. Went about the way I expected. People in there that shouldn't have been in there were eliminated as quickly as they should have been. Perfect. And then, and I'll give credit to Triple H a little bit, but a lot of the uproar was, well, The Rock's actually the main event of this entire show. He's actually going to be the one ending the show after the Elimination Chamber. And now we know why. And it was, I'll be honest with you, until it happened, there were a million possibilities of ways I thought that could go. That was not one of them. Where John Cena, Mr. Hustle, Loyalty, and Respect, actually turned heel. Didn't see it coming. Should have. Yeah. And the millions of universes that exist, that's something I should have seen coming. And yet, just all the evidence that I've had against it, it happened.
Yeah, listen. Like I'm just even hearing you speak. Like I said, I'm still trying to wrap my mind around like just how it happened. Now listen, when Rock Music hit, so I was out, so I missed most of the event because I was celebrating a birthday dinner with a friend of mine. So I came back. So I caught like the last 10 minutes of the actual match. So I'm like, okay, Cena's still in it. I was okay. So in my mind, I'm okay. So obviously he's winning this, and then he'll face Cody. So I'm okay, cool. I look forward to that matchup
I think we all felt. I think we all felt that, man. Like as soon as
Right,
John Cena was announced on the match, I feel like we all
right.
kind of thought it was going to be John Cena versus Cody
Well,
Rhodes.
I mean, plus when he said it in the promo that I am what's best for business, like what? Like, and that's once again, which is true because he's been there his entire career for the most part. So yeah, I am what's best for business, and I'm entering myself in the Elimination Chamber. I told Toronto they would see me one last time. So he really was dropping hints, like someone said. I think someone said it on X earlier. Like they was dropping hints that this was coming, but because once again, it had been so long since it happened. And, we're, both of us are old enough to remember, the Thugonomics version of Cena, right? Not the one that came back at WrestleMania 35, which I was there for when that happened against Elias. That was pretty dope to see. But like I say, he was on a great run at that moment then. And, his rise to stardom, before my time is now, theme took over. But yeah, I mean, listen, I thought for sure that when The Rock, and Travis Scott came out, which I'll get into Travis Scott thing in a minute because I was just like everyone was kind of like, what the fuck? But at the same time, it was like, okay, this is a cool moment because Travis Scott clearly is a big fan, and I just thought that we were gonna see Cody turn heel. And I think it's somebody that they would have been too predictable right now. I still think that it happens. I would love for that to happen because I think that would add a little more depth to his character. People keep saying the Homelander Cody, like they're waiting for that to happen. So I can't wait for when it does. I just thought it was going to happen now, but when when the famous Roddy Piper promo, just when they think you have the answers, I changed the test. I'm paraphrasing, but that's what he was talking about. So I love it, and I can't wait to WrestleMania 41 to see that.
Oh, it's gonna be phenomenal. There's so many. It's just that there are so many possibilities that you can do with John Cena now that you haven't been able to do for 20 years because John Cena's been the same guy for 20 years, no
Mhm.
variance. It's been a linear line, John Cena for 20 years. You want him to be
Mhm.
Mr. Russell loyalty and respect? There he goes. He's changed his color every time he shows up, right? It's
Mhm.
the free pebbles like The Rock did 10 years ago, man. Um, so now there's a lot of options that you can do because you remember John Cena when he started, after that initial little thing of Kurt Angle,
Mhm.
and he actually showed up. He was a heel for a long, long time, and he was a good heel too. He was
Yep.
putting out rap albums every week, something like
Mhm.
that. He was just dropping diss tracks and something like that. So there's a lot of options that we can do. And a heel Cena, man, you can do a lot of that. I'm not sure if you saw just based on everything good that John Cena has done, and John Cena has done a lot of good things in his life. He has done a ton of them. But what came through today, I'm not sure if you saw this,
Mhm.
um, and then you like the George G things. WWE always trademarks things that they might use. They always trademark names. They always trademark phrases.
Mhm.
What is John Cena most famous for outside of WWE? It's Make a
Oh,
Wish, right?
yeah, movie, yeah. Mhm.
Besides that, he's granted more make a wishes to
Oh, Make a
any
Wish, yeah.
to that he's granted more make a wishes to anybody, any other athlete.
Yeah.
Number one with a bullet for requests for make a wish kids, John Cena. What they trademarked today, what WWE trademarked,
Mhm.
is Wreck a Wish. They are going to milk this for so long, and John Cena is going to milk this so good. John Cena is so good at this. It's just going to be so good. We have so many options of where we can do this. You got to remember, there's also an unused theme that John Cena was supposed to use, and he was supposed to turn
Mhm.
heel in 2012.
Yeah.
There are options. This is going to be a bad man. This is going
Yeah.
to be John Cena. He's going to be a bad, bad man. And
And
there's
I
so much
do
story to be told that's left, and I'm so excited for it.
right. And so before I get into who who would think he should feud with after Cody, I just for just until WrestleMania 41, I want him to come out the Thugonomics. Just for the next few weeks, and then once again you can give the new theme at 41 because that's where the real moment's at. But yeah, come back with Thugonomics, come back with the chain, come back with the jerseys, and just start dropping freestyles on Cody Rhodes, drop freestyles on Brandy Rhodes, like that would just be amazing to do. Like I said, I love the promo or lack thereof. Come down, you sit down, you look to your left, you look to your right, you grab the mic, you drop it, and you walk off. And I'm like, perfect. Like he talked about Roman Reigns being so nuanced in the interview he did with I think Sam Roberts or Chris Bey, one of the two. Either one. Those are two of the bigger guys. But I think it was with Sam Roberts. But anyways, John Cena is just as nuanced, and he's always got it. And like I said, I think that just the facial expression that he gave once he hugged Cody, man, yeah, bring it in, man. Love you, brother. And then just it was like I said, like they say now, it was cinema. It was cinema to see that unfold. So like I said, but yeah, bring back the Thugonomics theme, and then give us the new one for WrestleMania.
It was like that meme we see of Richard Sherman in the Super Bowl when you could see in his face the exact moment that the Seahawks lost the Super Bowl and Malcolm Butler made that interception.
Right.
To me, that was like you could see it. It took till John Cena was looking at The Rock with that look. I was like, oh shit, this is actually going to happen.
Right.
And it actually happened, and he fucked him up.
Yeah, man, yeah. Like I said, I and the Travis Scott thing, because someone shared like a meme where like it was like like a Rodman thing, but I'm like, nah, like Travis Scott once again is as cool as he is. I enjoy.
Well, apparently he's still in training to actually do wrestle like
that.
that.
Right, but I'm just like you're not Bad Bunny, you're not Logan Paul, like you're not on that level. Once again, I could tell he's a fan, so you could tell he's a fan, but it's just like. That moment was so big that there should have been nothing else to distract that. Like there should have been nothing else in there. Like that should have been just Cody, John, and and The Rock. So, but someone was saying this on Twitter, so I want to ask you your thoughts on this. So, when he did the slit though, right, and was like then went to like the 2. So now he's saying it was him, and and it's John Cena. Now, do you think Roman becomes the third? Because they were saying like it's gonna be like the three last faces of the company. Him, John, and then Roman. So do you think they join him at some point?
I'm so happy that you asked this question because I have an answer to it, and I think that I can convince you otherwise. And I'm going to try it right now. Based on the reports that are coming out and the way the direction this is heading, I will main event Jey Uso. Because if the way things are going, the way I think they're going, you're going to see the kind of squashing of Jey Uso that you haven't seen in your life before when Gunther absolutely destroys Jey Uso at WrestleMania.
I think that's the wrong move.
You remember when Brock Lesnar came back the first time? It was him versus John Cena. And everyone thought, it's going to be a hell of a match. And he just destroyed John Cena for 20 minutes.
Yep.
That's what you're going to see. And man, you put main event Jey Uso, The Rock, and John Cena together. Man, that's good eating.
I mean that could be really dope. I just as someone who's been a supporter of Jey Uso since he's been in the main event gimmick, I would hate to see him get squashed anyways. Once again, I'd rather see a good match. Once again, the match they put on a Saturday Night Main Event let me know they could put on a banger if you let them. Because that he showed that. So I'm like, let us get more of that. I mean, it's obviously not going to be unsanctioned because it's going to be one of the main events. But I just feel like let them go for 15 to 20 because Gunther proved that he can do that. Even 2 years ago against in the triple threat match with Sheamus and Drew McIntyre. So he's given us that. So I think to me, that's what I'd rather see. But I understand for Gunther's character if they did that because obviously he won at 39, then he lost to Sami Zayn last year at 40. So you're not going to have him lose 2 years in a row at the PLE. So yes, Gunther probably retains. I just don't want it to be a squash match like what happened with, like I said, with John Cena. What also happened with Kofi back in 2019. So so I'm like, I'm not so sure. But once again, I wouldn't be surprised. But yeah, hey, that became a new faction out of that. I don't know what it would be. It would be like the TKO Corporation. I don't know, whatever. But like that would be. Like I say, there's so many swerves. I think we're still about to find out and see.
Oh man, we're in terms of where we at on this. The roosters just crowed. It's still like 7 a.m. in the morning. We're still just finding out. This still just happened. This is still
Yeah,
like
like Paul Heyman said, we're in the third inning, buddy. We're in
not
the
even
third
that.
inning.
And I think we're still at the bottom of the first, maybe bottom of the second. But so you said that you didn't catch much of the show. Did you see the unsanctioned match between Kevin Owens and
No,
Sami Zayn?
I seen the highlights of it. I mean, but listen,
Oh man, you're gonna watch the whole thing.
no, but they yeah, no, and I will, but it's like they never put on a
They
bad
never
match.
they never put
Never.
on a match.
So whether it was WrestleMania 37 or whether it was like for NXT days, like they don't put on a bad match. So I knew they would deliver. Because even at the Royal, like I was at the Royal Rumble in Indianapolis, for KO and Cody, and folks was kind of like, oh, I don't know about this match, and I'm like, have you ever seen a match that Kevin Owens is disappointed? Like ever? Like whenever he is the foil, he is never disappointed in the match ever. He may not win it, but you're like, man, he delivered. So I knew that. Like I said, I missed it because I was out, but like I said, yeah, man, I saw some of the highlights of the match. I watched a little bit of I watched the women's Elimination Chamber match as well.
I didn't need to. I needed to watch the first 2 minutes. That's all I was waiting for.
Yeah, yeah.
And I
Love
knew
that
that was coming. I was so happy.
yeah, love that Jade came back. Listen, I'm positive that Bianca's behind it and it's not. Yeah. So I'm just waiting for that. I'm waiting for that video to come out, like kind of like, a la Shawn Michaels and Triple H. It was you, Hunter. You damn right it is. I do it again, Sean. So I'll be ready. Say SummerSlam. Like, it's like so I'm waiting for that type of moment. Jade looked great as usual. And yeah, she was it was like, it wasn't me. Like, you have to understand, it wasn't me. Late, I was ass out. I hope she wasn't too stiff because I was like, some of the shots, I was like, damn, she looked like she knocked her ass out. I was like, whoa.
She's a
Yeah, she's
strong bitch.
real stud. Like that's not a that's not a shoot. Like that's a real thing. So, but yeah, like that match was great. And like I say, yeah, that's one of the best elimination chamber matches or PLEs they've had. Maybe since the first one. Like, I mean, there was some other good ones, but that takes the cake there. That was an awesome match. So I wanted to get back to Cena. So obviously, like I said, everyone's been talking about it, and just like obviously we know that this feud now is about to happen with Cody. He's going into the main event at 41. So just after that subsides, who are you looking to see him feud with as he goes into the twilight of his career?
So before I get into that, there is one certain match that absolutely has to happen with John Cena. I don't care if it's on a pay-per-view. I don't care if it's a 5-minute match on SmackDown, Raw, NXT, Evolve, LFG, whatever. There has to be a match. This has been waiting for 20 years for this to happen. I need John Cena to take on R-Truth, and I just need him to beat his ass so good. Because John Cena's R-Truth's hero. And if you've seen R-Truth on social media the last couple of days, it has been a meltdown, and he has not been able to handle it.
But they did main event together once.
I'm sure they did. I'm sure.
No, I'm saying, but no, they. Oh gosh.
I need him in full R-Truth character.
No, sure. No, I'm with you, but I'm like, okay, because you testing my knowledge. I want to say it was Capital Punishment 2011. Yeah, because Truth was on a really good run that year. Him and Miz became tag team champions. They main evented some Survivor Series against The Rock and John Cena. That set up the feud between Rock and Cena. So yeah, it was Capital Punishment that year. They main evented. That's when the little Jimmy thing was the gimmick. So yeah, so that's what it was. But absolutely, like the promo should be he should come out and say, "Man, me and little Jimmy want to know what like why John why." And what happened? So it's just like that. That to me would be the that would be perfect. But yeah, I definitely would do it for a PLE. Like that would be like Money in the Bank. Money in the Bank. Do it Money in the Bank. Like John, I challenge you to a ladder match or whatever. Like something like that. Like that would be awesome. But yeah, I think that they probably have thought about that.
The thing with that is you can do all that art all truth comedy. John Cena is not alive right now. John Cena is the man, and he is going to him up. He's going to destroy him. And it's necessary storytelling. It's going to hurt you, but it's necessary.
Yeah, and once again, he's It's not. Well, it's not really. I don't think it hurts R-Truth because once again,
No, our truth's good for life.
yeah, he's untouchable at this moment. Like Road
Yeah,
Dogg
he's
said,
not.
he's untouchable. So I think that anything he does, once again, I think those segments, like you said, would be gold. I think he should follow him every. So I don't care, like you said, whether it's SmackDown, Raw, NXT, like you said, LG, whatever. Go just follow him everywhere and just every place. Why, John? Me and little Jimmy just want to know. You know, you're my childhood hero, John. Oh my God. Oh, it is.
As
Oh,
far
you know.
as far like who he's actually going to feud with,
Mhm.
the possibilities around this could be, I imagine he's going to face up CM Punk at some point. Like I imagine when John, I think we both agree John Cena's going to beat Cody Rhodes at WrestleMania. One
Yes.
way or the other.
Yeah.
So we'll talk about that when we get to our
Mhm.
WrestleMania show in a couple of months. I think
Mhm.
we're both pretty much, what are we doing if we're not having John Cena win the 17th?
Well, I mean, especially after you can't have this type of moment and
Exactly.
fumble it. You can't. Like you can't wait on this. Um, it's literally it's time. Pun intended. It's time. Time is now. Like pun intended.
Yeah, time
Yeah.
is here. But I would like to see him do a couple of one-on-ones with like CM Punk or Seth Rollins, maybe Roman Reigns again, but he just had a program with him a little while ago. But as far this is the after John Cena. This is it's going to be a you know a a very good 10 months of hopefully Bill and John Cena that we haven't gotten in 20 years. And when it ends, and it is going to end, we know that. We've known that for over a year now. It should be against someone, and I think this is obvious, but it should be against someone who they push, who they think can, they can strap a rocket on and, shoot to the moon as being the one that dethrones John Cena. Is that Cody Rhodes again? I don't know. Is that Finn Balor? Is that someone we don't someone we don't even know yet? It could be, I don't know, Ricky Saints down in NXT. I don't know. I'm just putting names out there. But whoever it is, there's somebody out there who's going to put John Cena down at the end of December, and whoever that is going up.
Yeah, I mean, I don't know. Like, I mean, granted, not that this person I'm about to say needs it, but it to me, it's poetic if it would be Randy Orton personally.
Sure,
Like,
sure.
it should be Randy. Um, or him or CM Punk. But like I said, I think CM Punk is going to be at SummerSlam. And I think, or once again, or maybe after he wins the title, it'd be poetic to have them at Money in the Bank because their best match happened at Money in the Bank in 2011. So I think that would be great. It just sucks that it's not in Chicago because that would be crazy. And like I said, once again, poetic. So yeah, So I think okay, man, maybe have CM Punk at Money in the Bank. And then it should be, I don't know who would be at SummerSlam that was the case, unless it was a rematch. And then, yeah, Orton should be the guy that retires him. Or he could do another swerve and say, "Ha! You thought there was the farewell tour? I'm just getting started." And then jump on that. Oh, I got a lot left in the tank.
Oh yeah, good old Mark Henry. But on the salmon suit.
That'd be so good, so good, so good. So good. So yeah, there's plenty of ways they could go, but those are guys I would love to see. Like I say, it just makes too much sense. Kurt Angle should be
I do have to say, by the way, for before we go on a little bit further, this credit for Triple H. That's
yes.
That's ball. There had been so much shit that Triple H had gotten specifically the last week about the writing and the talent being unhappy with their current situations and stuff like that. Man, all that in a matter of 4 hours gone.
Mm-hmm.
That was the man again. That was the man.
But I'm like, he's since I mean WrestleMania 40 was like his first like one that he completely put together. But I'm like,
I feel like this is a real first one, because the Vince McMahon thing happened in the middle of last year or so.
Right, correct. But it's just like every PLE that has been put on from WrestleMania 40 to now has been awesome, just about. I think about the one the Backlash in France last year. Like that crowd was on fire, and they gave them a great show out there. So yeah, I don't know. I just think to me, even from Elimination Chamber last year in Perth, Australia. Like they once again they've been on a magical run the last 2 years, and once again for you to lead with the full headed network and other than like for them to be taught wrestling is all the way back. It's back. When you were the leading story, once again, that is that shocking. Because once again, I can only imagine had like the Hogan thing happen now, right? Because this is that level. He once again, people can say what they want about who's who, what the hierarchy is, who's the Mount Rushmore. Cena absolutely is the Hogan of this era. Absolutely. I mean, better wrestler, obviously, but it's just like, man, like he better movies too. No one's coming to see Days of Thunder, whatever that movie was, man. Thunderstruck, whatever the hell that movie was. Hulk Hogan, but
Thunder Rocket 3?
yeah. Oh, he wasn't right. Yeah, but I'm like that. We don't want to watch that movie for him. People watched it for Stallone and Carl Weathers. No one watched it for him there. But yeah, I just think to me, that's just what it was. But where would you? I know it's recency bias, but where would you put this turn at? Like, where would it be in your top five?
Yeah, so I saw that you included a list asking for the top 5 heel turns. I didn't have necessarily a list. In my list, if I do have it, is
Mm-hmm.
a lot of recency bias. So the John Cena one's obviously going to be in the top 5, but I'm not going to give you a 1 through 5. I'll just
Yeah,
I'll
or we
just
could just talk about the ones that we talked about earlier. We could talk about those.
yeah. So I'm just going by with this one. I think number 1 and number 2 are always going to be. I think that this one, just the magnitude of it. I don't even think we're appreciating it yet. The magnitude of this,
Mm-hmm.
this what we just saw this past Saturday. So that's maybe 1, 2, but it doesn't matter. Like I'm not giving you a 1 through 5. Hogan, of course, everybody's talked about Hogan. I don't need to, red and yellow into black and white. A lot of recency bias. One that really hurt me, and one that really, really hurt me, and it was recent too. It was the New Day turning out Big E.
Yeah.
Man,
No. I
man, he
know.
had hurt.
I know. I
Do
know.
I feel like eventually they'll get that comeuppance on that one? Yeah, I will, because I do think that Big E is eventually coming back. Man, that one hurt. That one hurt me for a while. Roman Reigns aligning himself with Paul Heyman is up
Mm-hmm.
there for me as well.
Mm-hmm.
Man, I don't care who you are. When you align yourself with Paul Heyman, that's one hell of a heel turn. Man, I'm thinking of. Give me some of yours, and there's one other one I'm thinking of, and I want.
Yeah,
I
I
want to
mean, so I was obviously like say, like you said, Hogan joined NWO, and Austin McMahon will always be top 2 depending on who you talk to, but that should be 1 and 2. Obviously, Shawn Michaels breaking up the Rockers and kicking him through the glass. I think for those that love Shawn Michaels, like, that's always something that we remember there. And then yeah, like I said, I had the Roman Reigns thing becoming the tribal chief as well too. Like people forget, like for 4 or 5, maybe even 6 years, he was pushed. Here comes the big dog. Dun, 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 dun. And it's like he was getting like I was there at 34 when him and Brock main evented. Like, and this is obviously we've seen the footage after Brock throwing the title at Vince. That crowd was livid. That was the main event. Like, I think I want to say the Intercontinental Championship opened up that year where it was Seth, I think the Miz, I forget the other 2 that was in the match, but Seth Rollins opened it, and people were more happy about that match than than the close. So for him to go from that where he's getting booed out of the Superdome, to 2 years after that, and you're aligning yourself with Paul Heyman, and you go on one of the biggest runs of all time. Like you've reached Hulk Hogan level, you've reached Bruno Sammartino level, you've reached Andre the Giant level. Like he reached that within the last 4 years. So, that probably becomes number 3. I'm comfortable saying that this would be number 4, whatever. Like I said, once again, we may look at this differently, obviously years later. But it has to be, like I said, to me, it's the biggest one since Hogan. Because once again, Cena, no one reached Cena levels while he was at his peak. And like to see that unfold, like I said, it's unbelievable. That's another matchup too. We didn't talk about that. Maybe he faces Reigns one more time, but Reigns as a face. Which I think that hasn't happened since no, Reigns was a face. I think when they faced at No Mercy years ago, which actually that might have been their best match. No Mercy 2017, I think. So that was a good, or Bad Blood, one or two. It was a good matchup between them there. But either way, it's endless possibilities. Let us know, like I said, when this drops.
We're getting one. I think we're getting a big one.
Oh, what's the big one?
On the Shield.
Yes, yeah. I think because that hurts me, I try not to think about. So that how the New Day want to hurt you, that hurt me because I was like, I thought them guys were just going to keep going for a long time together. I mean, they did they did phenomenal things.
All three are doing fine now.
Yeah. I mean, they all became main eventers. I mean, Seth Rollins to me is the best in the business. He's so good. he's so good. I can't wait to see what they do with him next too, because I might, like I said, I love the long-term feud between him and Punk. Like it's just gonna,
I don't think it's over, especially if you saw the beginning of Raw tonight.
Yeah, no, I like I said, I missed it. I was preparing for this, but no, I missed it. But yeah, I'll go because thankfully, thank you Netflix. I can go back, rewatch it. So I will do that once we're done. But yeah, man, like it's like there's so many ways that can go. So any last words on Elimination Chamber before we get into some baseball?
We're in a very special moment right now. Like I mentioned, I think we spoke off the top of the show. This is a moment I don't think a situation we never really thought we'd see ourselves in. Like I mentioned at the very beginning, I thought this was gonna be just a unintended but rated and tour for John Cena. I thought it'd be just the regular John Cena for the next 10 months, and it'd be he'd be the hero and right off into the sunset at the end of it. But yeah, man, we're in for something special over the next 9-10 months, and I'm very excited to see where it goes.
Yeah, I mean, whatever that PLE is coming to Boston, right? The final PLE for him.
One of the finals coming here, yeah.
One of the final PLE. Gotcha. Okay.
And I think there's definitely a show in December that he's finishing up as. It's being very.
I think I heard a rumor about calling it like ruthless aggression.
Yeah, I think that's right.
Yeah, because whatever happens, and once again, I'm just big on creating moments. Whoever's in the match with him, and we'll say if he's up to it, because I know he mentioned about his body not being great right now. Kurt Angle should absolutely be the special guest referee.
Oh, sure.
Absolutely. And Kurt Angle, just like he did, Kurt Angle should be the one inducting him to the Hall of Fame. Bar none. But like he did it for Kurt. Kurt Angle should be the guy that inducts Cena to the Hall of Fame. I don't know if they'll do it. They should do it right away in New Orleans next year. Like he should not be waiting 4 or 5 years to be like it's soon as he goes down on the mat 1, 2, 3, because you always go out on your back. That's the old school tradition. He should well, maybe they'll do it differently with him. Maybe they'll do it. He'll drop the butt. Like
go ahead and do it now. Rey Mysterio's already in. He's still wrestling every fucking week.
Yeah, that's true. Like I said,
John Cena is different. I know that.
Yeah. But I'll be here for the swerve though. He was like, yeah, like you thought I was finished, like y'all still can't see me. Like, oh, like I said, I'd be here for that. So yeah, but I say, yeah, we had to give this special edition for that. Like I said, we'll get more into it as WrestleMania season continues because we still have like another 4 or 5 weeks before those shows happen. But let's listen. We're giving you the baseball content that we told you I was going to give you. Me and Mike told you we gave you a little tease last week and the week before, but now we're going to give a little bit more of a segment on baseball because we do have the baseball guy here though. So
here's the thing about that though, and this is very important to realize. We would give the people more baseball content. Mm-hmm. We will give primarily our fan base based in Boston. If the baseball, if the baseball team in Boston would give us a team to talk about, and last year, we could talk about that was a team that pretty much checked out the entire season. As soon as they As soon as they checked in the spring training last season, it was pretty much, who's playing for Cancun and the end of October and the end of September.
Yep, that's true. I think
There were no good vibes about this Red Sox team in 2024.
yeah, and thankfully that is not the case right now. So just me and Mike kind of gave our thoughts on the offseason, but we haven't connected with you at least on air about it. So just give us your thoughts so far. Well, not even so far, but just give us your thoughts about how the Red Sox offseason went.
Hell of an offseason for the Red Sox. Gotta give it to them. You give the Red Sox a lot of shit, and well deservingly. That they are full on lack of interest of actually spending any money. Can't say that this offseason. This offseason they went out there and they spent to make a team better for 2025. And I feel like I need to emphasize that and underline it and bold it, italicize it. Team better for 2025, because this team is good for 2025. This team, they went out there to make sure it was better for 2025. He went out there, he spent, the big fish all off season was Alex Bregman. You went out there and you eventually got him at probably more than you wanted to spend. But still, you got him. But it's a 1-year deal. It's a 3-year deal, 2-year options. It's essentially a 1-year deal. You went out there and you needed more arms in the rotation. You got Walker Buehler, who's I felt like over the years has been one of the best pitchers in baseball when healthy. And what did you do? He signed him out there, 1-year deal. I think he's got a great year. He fucking shut the Yankees down at the end of that World Series last October. He was fucking filthy. And I feel like it's gonna be. I feel good if he's healthy. I feel like he's gonna adapt just fine to the American League, because American League National League is pretty much the same nowadays. But still, Walker Buehler and Garrett Crochet, who I'll get to in a minute, bring a type of A, swag, and B, leadership to this pitching rotation that it just didn't have last year. The number one thing that this pitching rotation for the Boston Red Sox was missing last year was leadership. There was nobody there. There was supposed to be Lucas Giolito to try and be an anchor to this rotation last year. He gets injured. He needs elbow surgery. He's back this year. Maybe the number 3, maybe the number 4. We'll see when we get to actual pitching games. Right. But then you go out there, you extend Brian Bayo, and you ask him to be the leader. Obviously, he wasn't up to it. I still think he's going to be a good pitcher. I don't think he's going to be that number 1. I hate it, and it was unfair. It was unfair to Brian Bayo what they did to him last year, because everyone was just like, he's next Pedro Martinez. He's been hanging out with Pedro Martinez in the Dominican Republic all summer long. He's going to be the next Pedro Martinez. Look at how he throws. He's just like Pedro Martinez. That was such an unfair comparison. It always was. So,
but
that being said,
to that point though, that was heaped on him because he showed flashes of it, right? So because he showed flashes of it, Pedro didn't really have that sinker that he has, but to throw a 96-mile-an-hour sinker, to have that changeup like how Pedro had to an extent, it was warranted, right? So, and to whom much is given, much is required. So I hope that he strives towards being how Pedro was, because if so, you can rest assured we'll be back in business come October. Because he'd be easily the best number 3 in baseball. Easily, if that's the case. Easily.
That's what I like about this particular Red Sox team this year, is this rotation is actually rather deep. Because you got Garrett Crochet, you got Lucas Giolito, you got Walker, you got Walker Buehler, you got Garrett Crochet, you got Brian Bayo, you got Cutter Crawford, you got Tanner Houck, you got maybe Garrett Whitlock. Cutter Crawford maybe in there too. A whole bunch of other guys. So this rotation, I feel is rather deep, which is good, especially for the way baseball's been trending over the last couple of years with extended 6-man rotations and bullpen games.
But that's been the thing. That's what's bit them in the ass for the last 2 years, right? Like offensively, they've been okay, right? Even 2023, they was okay offensively. It was just when it came to you're up 7-4 in the 8th, and you're putting in some guy from New Carrollton, Maryland, to come into the game, and then it's like, okay, single, double, two out base hit. Okay, now it's 7-6. Okay, now 2 more walks. So you take him out. The next guy comes in. Oh, now it's 9-7. This is like, it's like, wait. It's like you were just up 7-4, and now you've allowed 5 runs in a matter of 15 minutes. So like that was just super frustrating the last few years. So I think now, I say they got the message about, okay, you need as many arms as possible. You can throw as many darts on the board as possible. Once again, I think Sandoval could be huge for him in the second half of the year. I think they get you a little back the second half of the year too. So that was the biggest thing.
He'll be there at the beginning. He's ready.
Okay, he'll be in the beginning. Okay, so Sandoval will come back at the second half. Yeah. Got it. So,
I mean, I don't think he's going to come out for 7 innings.
No, right. But I think that's fine. I just think that whatever, especially when they've been crying about, not crying, I'm being facetious, but like when it was like, oh, like, we'll make this move at the deadline or we'll be buyers or blah, blah, blah. And it's like, no, like now you're actually getting a couple of arms that will help you in the future. Like I'm going to miss someone like Chris Martin. I thought Chris Martin was awesome here the last 2 years. So kudos to him for going elsewhere. But I thought he was great here, especially in the 7th, 8th inning. So yeah, I mean, like I said, Chapman looked really good. His outing the other day. Look to see how he does as the year unfolds. But you kind of run into it. I want to talk about it some more. I love what I've seen so far from Crochet. I love what I've seen from Bregman so far. And I'll focus on Bregman briefly. The brother just has it. Like just whatever it is, he's got it. That 2-run bomb he hits his first at bat. And I'm just like, yeah, he was tailor made. And granted, that's why we drafted him years ago. He was tailor made to play at Fenway. Excuse me. And I can't wait. And breaking news, I'll be working there this year. So that's breaking news. I got hired. Yeah, I'm doing. Yeah, when I'm not in TD, I'll be over there. But so we'll see. We'll get into that later on. We can cut that out. It was like he cussed there. But yeah, so that's I'll be in a position over there. So I'm excited about that. So for those I run into, come on to the show. I'm gonna be recruiting, baby. That's what I do. So. But yeah, I just love to see what I've seen from Bregman so far. I love the swing. The defense obviously comes as advertised. Crochet reminds me of John Lester 2.0. Like like I said, big lefty, and throws in on right-handers. Got the good off speed. Can blow you away. With the 95 plus fastball. Like it just, like I said, he the walk, the swag. I'm just like, yeah, like. Get it right this time, John Henry, because you didn't get it right in 2014 when you let John Lester walk. Do not let this man walk. If he comes out and he dominates the way I believe he's going to dominate, do not let him walk because you want to be cheap. Please. He's 25 years old. You can have him say he's 32 or 33. Like, just allow him to be him. Go out there and sign him. And set yourself up for success, not just for 2025, but in the future.
A few things on Garrett Crochet, if I may. Yes. I was extremely happy to see the Red Sox signed him, traded for him this offseason. I guess there was a big bidding war starting last season because the White Sox are the White Sox last year. They lost 121. They lost 121 games. They had nothing going for them. So we all knew that they were trying to get Crochet at the deadline last year. That didn't end up happening. Man, I don't know what's in the water over in the Chicago, White Sox arena, but do they just grow extremely tall left-handed pitchers dominating? And do they just grow on trees? We gotta get Dave. We have to ask Dave, but they just grow strong left-handed skinny pitchers in Chicago because I didn't really research it as much as I did. Mm-hmm. I know they traded Kyle Teal for him. Yeah. And I was like, that's a good trade.
Montgomery too, the outfielder.
Oh, sure, but for all intents and purposes, it was for Kyle Teal.
I mean, some people was big on him. That's what I'm saying. I'm like, some people was like, oh my god.
I feel like out of the big four for the Red Sox had, it was Roman Anthony, Kristen Campbell, Marcelo Mayer, And Kyle Teal, he was probably the one I was supposed to sign for, because you don't get that kind of offense out of a catcher that often. You know, if
Right.
you get a couple, you know, if you get a 230 batting average and a couple of bombs out of a catcher, that's a hell of a catcher. That's an all-star right there. But
Right.
man, when that happened, I didn't realize that why the specific reason we were doing that, because they have another fucking tall left-handed elite pitcher in the minors waiting over in Chicago. So
Yeah,
they
I
were just,
seen that. I seen a video. Yeah, he's
and
like
he's
20 years
good
old.
too.
It's crazy. Yeah.
But as far as Garrett Crochet goes, I'm optimistic, but very cautiously optimistic about him, just because he didn't go to the minors. He was drafted. He went straight to the majors. Craig Hansen, and
What a
no,
casual up
here's,
there.
he ended up having Tommy John surgery. He came back, and man, the stuff has translated from reliever to starter like nobody's business. The man led the major leagues in strikeouts last season. You know how many innings he pitched? 140.
Crazy.
He only pitched 140 innings last year. He struck out over 200 batters. That is ridiculous. That's like 300 for 200 innings. Do I think he would do that? Probably not. But still, the thing that worries me, and that we're going to need to see if we're going to want what a 7-8 year 300 something million dollar contract, whatever it ends up being, I need to see more than 5. I need to see more than 4 innings out of him weekly. Yes, I think his last 14 starts with the White Sox, they didn't let him go more than 4 innings. And yet he's down here, but I need more than 4 innings out of Garrett Crochet every 5 days.
I think that was more of a mutual decision than we know. I think that he probably was like, look, this is the worst team that's been fielded in baseball since the like 03 or 04 Tigers that lost 119 games. So he was like, I'm not going to overextend myself for a team that's not going to be in contention, let alone you're not going to trade me for more pieces to a team I don't want to go to. So I think that's probably more of the gist of what happened, more or less. But yeah, I'm with you. I hate that we have pitchers going 4 or 5 innings. Like, it's one thing if you get shelled and you give up like 6 runs in 3 1/3. Okay, that's different. But if you're 4 innings in at like 45 pitches with 5 strikeouts, see if you can stretch it to 6. Once again, quality starts should be the goal. Going 7 should be the goal. You want your guys in the bullpen going crazy towards August and September, not going crazy in April and May. So, like, I don't know who the closer. I'm assuming Chapman's going to be the closer. I'm assuming.
Liam Hendricks.
Oh, that's so okay. That's another guy I forgot they got from right. So Liam Hendricks.
It's supposed to be Liam Hendricks. I think we all know eventually they're going to be trying Chapman at closer eventually.
Yeah, I mean, Chapman should be the 7th, 8th guy. 7th inning guy. So, like, I don't know how that's going to unfold, but they got some of the arms, there. Cutter Crawford's probably going to be the long man. Depending on, or be the 6th starter, depending on how that unfolds or what Alex Bregman wants to do. But yeah, I'm with you. We got to see 6, 7 innings, and I want to see the same thing for Walker Buehler as well. Once again, that ball was popping out of his glove yesterday. I was like, okay. I said, this is, and that 2-seamer, dare I say, was looking Greg Maddux-ish. I was like, oh, I said, when you got that ball coming in like that, and the left hand is already giving up because he thinks it's going to hit his leg, and it tails right back to over the middle, I'm like, that's nasty. And I'm like that. I said, feed me more. So I had to get one more wrestling reference. But yeah, feed me more, because I need it all. I need it all.
Yeah, that was Buehler, right?
Yeah, Walker Buehler. Yep.
Yeah, Walker Buehler Walker Buehler was a great addition. I think he's going to be a great leader for this Red Sox team. Quote unquote veteran, 30 years old. But man, he put a spanking on the Yankees at the end of the World Series, but he put on a stinker last year. Oh my God, he was awful last year. But before that, man, he was it seems like over the last 10 years or so, it seems like Dodgers produced a new all-star pitcher every other week. And he was one of the, Dustin May, Walker Buehler, all those guys. But he's still young. He's only 30 years old. He still got it. So we're going to see, he's playing for the rest of his career this year, just like Alex Bregman is. these are 2 pillow contracts. This is Adrian Beltre, 2010, all over again for both of these guys. They're going to be here this year. Then they're going to make a shit ton of money this offseason. And good for them. Happy for him.
Well, I mean, for Bregman, because he's 31, being in the infield, like I don't know, like 40 mil was already considered overpaid, where the most he was getting was 28 and a half. I don't know if he gets 45 in the open market somewhere at 32. So, and also too, like if they make a deep run, I think he stays. You know what I'm saying? Like, so that's just me. And once again, that's optimistic thinking. But if they make a deep run, or let alone somehow win the World Series, why would you leave? You know what I'm saying? Like that to me is crazy. In my mind, anyway.
I mean, right now, based on just because he's with the Red Sox now and he's going to be hitting that ballpark, you know, Alex Bregman's odds when he signed with the Red Sox to win MVP were at 6,000. Man, I would take that because I think he's going to win MVP this season. I do. Alex Bregman, I think, will win MVP because when he signed with the Red Sox, I'm not going to lie to you, I didn't watch him. I don't follow the Astros.
Yeah,
they're not my team. I don't follow them. So I immediately did what every other Red Sox fan did. I went to YouTube, Alex Bregman highlights, home runs from 2024, and then I was watching them. And the Astros field, especially in left field,
it's very similar.
It's very similar to Fenway Park. And I was like, oh, he hits a lot of home runs over that left field, huh?
Yep.
Let's see. What's the worst case scenario if you're able to hit that far over to left field? You get a double and you drive in 2 runs, or you hit over the thing and you drive in 4. Man, he's gonna, I've said this a couple times, he's gonna fucking eat Fenway Park alive.
So, and actually, as he should, right? Like to me, and once again, his favorite player was Dustin Pedroia, right? And he gives me that vibe, right? I think that, I remember them in the because we faced them 3 different times in the playoffs the last 10 years. So 2017, 2018, and then 2021. And him, Altuve, Correa, eventually Yordan Alvarez, Kyle Tucker, they had a really good core for a number of years. And, he was always at the top of that list. So, me, I'm just a junkie all around. So I just be watching random shit just to watch it. So that's why I was like, okay, you get him, that once again, it adds an it factor that you didn't have. And once again, you have a bunch of guys that were trying to figure it out, which is fine. But you need guys eventually that have been there, that have done that. And they accomplished that this offseason by getting Bregman, by getting Walker Buehler, by getting a Rose Chapman. You get guys that have been in those pressure moments. And yes, at times they have failed, but they have succeeded more times than not. And you need to be around guys that know how to win, that go about playing the game the right way. And I'm just excited all the way around to see what they do, because I would love for him to get the MVP. Once again, he's probably going to be hitting into 2 holes, so he's going to have plenty of opportunities to get
one MVP hitting the 2 hole for the Red Sox.
Yep. And it's just like I said, I could easily see him having a Pedroia type year, like Pedroia had in 08. I think he'll hit more than 17 home runs like Pedroia did, but the doubles, even sometimes maybe a potential triple. He has power to all fields. So I say, yeah, I think the possibility.
He had 40 home runs 4 years ago. He can do it.
Yeah, so yeah, that's what I'm saying. So I just think that, and then once again, the timely hitting is what was missed here, right? Like, ironically, the last clutch guy we had wore number 2 as well. That was Justin Turner a few years ago. Like, Justin Turner had a bunch of big time hits for us a couple years ago. It just didn't result in a playoff berth. But like I said, I'm excited. I'm excited to see what they do. Once again, I'm hoping that they stay healthy, because that's been the biggest bug, for them, is staying healthy. But yeah, I can't wait. I can't wait to see how it unfolds. Like I said, I'll be there to see it up close. So I'm excited about that. So can't wait. So, but I'm thinking about, obviously they have pitching, they now have more pitching. Obviously, I think they're still probably in search of a bat, even though they got the right-handed bat in Bregman. So once we get into the summertime, obviously things will change, because we'll know what type of team they are. would you look for them to be buyers, or you just want to see what they have first and kind of get, work on Campbell and Anthony coming up?
As far as hitting goes, I feel really, really good about this Red Sox team. I don't
Mhm.
want to still here. That's fine. Hey, a piece of the Mookie Betts trade is still here. That's nice. But anyway, I feel offensively wise, I don't feel bad necessarily anywhere in this Red Sox team. I see some good. I see some. The Red Sox have what I would call good issues to have right now because I'm looking at their depth chart right now,
Mhm.
and I see who's projected to start where. Tristan Casas at first base, Alex Bregman currently second, Trevor Story shortstop, Devers third, Jaron Duran left, Rafaela in center, and Wilmer Abreu, who won a Gold Glove last year in right field. Roman Anthony, number 2 prospect in baseball. If
Mhm.
he, there should be absolutely zero reason why Roman Anthony does have a good spring training, why
Mhm.
Wilmer Abreu should be starting over Roman Anthony. I don't give a fuck that he won the Gold Glove last year. He had an okay season, but he's a 4A.
So okay, would you move Abreu to center then?
I would move Abreu to fucking St. Louis.
For I'm saying, but I think they like him as a player, obviously, which is why they kept him in deals. Um, I think maybe had they went after Dylan Cease from San Diego, he might have been involved in that because I know Maloney and some others were, talking about that on air. But yeah, I'm with you. I get it. Once again, if you're going to infuse the young talent and kind of see what you have, and once again, forget about the arbitration years. Go for this. Like if he's the best player available, put him out there, bro. Same thing with Campbell. Like, um,
You're, you, Yoshida can see his ass out of town too.
oh,
I like your
yeah. I once again forgot about him as well. Yes, I mean, once again, I don't know if his contract is it's not really attractive to other teams, which is why I think he's also still on the roster.
which is
Um,
why I'm throwing a Gold Glove winning, right fielder into the mix.
right. So I do think that his shoulder looks healthy right now. Talk about Yoshida.
Yeah, he yeah
Um,
he had a I think what a 3 for 4 day yesterday.
yeah. So when he's and we seen in his first year here, like when he was healthy, um, he was a great value, Hideki Matsui. Um, and if that's the case, okay, like that's a serviceable player in the league. Um, I think that he'd be a valuable piece off the bench. I don't know if he'd be interested in that, but I think he'd be valuable off the bench, kind of platooning. Um, kind of how Rafael is doing, and even Rob Refsnyder. Um, I think that would be great. But once again, if they have to move him, then I understand. But yeah, like I said, if Anthony's ready, if Campbell's ready, because listen, I'm already out on Vaughn Grissom, and that's because Chris Sale messed around and won the Cy Young Award. So there's nothing Vaughn Grissom can do outside of hit 30 home runs for me. Then I'd be like,
Yeah,
all right, a little bit better.
yeah. What happened to Von Gressing was really unfair. He's a very talented player. I just think the particular situation that he was put in, just for he just happened to be traded for guy winning the Cy Young Award, and he's his issue is the same issue they have time and time again for ball players who are already everyone's always touting them about them, and then what happened to him? They get hurt. Yeah, so he's still a commodity. He's still viewed as a very, very good infielder.
Yeah,
Um,
listen. I want him to do well. I just don't expect it. So I want him to do well.
there's nothing that he's ever done that should convince you to say, man, I think that Vaughn Grissom's gonna make it through 162 games this year. There's nothing
Right,
to say.
right. And that's the issue, right? Because obviously your best ability is your availability. So I want to see, and I think okay, put it like this right now. Obviously, we remember the Mookie trade and how everyone was still mad. Some folks still mad about that trade. Um, but at least Verdugo was out there every day.
Sure.
He was out there. He had some good moments in a Red Sox uniform. He wanted to be here, whatever. So I think if he just became what Verdugo became, I'd be okay with that because
Purdue didn't want to beat her, by the way. Yeah.
well, I mean, by the end though, by the end, I felt like by the end. But the first like 20 like first year he was here, 2020, 2021, like I felt like he was happy to be on the team, and they were doing damage at that moment, so to speak. But yeah, I don't know. I don't know. I like I said, I just want the best player out there available, regardless of what position they're playing. So like I said,
You
if
know,
that's Campbell, great. If that's Christian, if that's Campbell, if that's Anthony, so be it. Get him
it,
out there.
it's so funny you bring that up because I'm looking at the Red Sox depth chart right now where everyone's projected to play every position. Man, it's crowded everywhere. It is crowded because, you bring in Alex Bregman
Mm-hmm.
and you have your top three most touted prospects, three of the top 15 prospects, Roman Anthony, Marcelo Mayer, and Christian Campbell.
Mm-hmm.
They're all pretty much major league ready. I think maybe
Mm-hmm.
Mars the furthest back just because he's been hurt for so often. But
Mm-hmm.
Chris Campbell, he's had a tough spring, so maybe they don't actually bring him up at the start when they actually started Bregman at second, put Devers still at third, Castro the first. But these guys are coming. I don't know where they're going to play. If they're here, great, but these guys are ready. And if that means that they had, prospects and prospects, man, we don't know where they're going to be. The best currency that a Major League Baseball team has is their prospects. And right now, the Red Sox have the best currency in all of baseball with three guys. You can, if
Mm-hmm.
you hold on to them and you wanted to, and they have good minor league systems and they have good minor league seasons. First of all, I don't think that all three of them are going to make it to August in the minors, maybe Mayer, just because where you put him. I don't know where Mayer plays right now. He's not playing, well.
I think he gets put in the deal. I do.
Where?
I don't know where they deal him to, but I think that if they need more pitching at the deadline, or if they need like another bat, because someone's not producing the way they thought, I think he gets moved in that deal. Once again, like I remember them moving off New York last year. I mean, they moved on some like they Hein Bloom gave them 1,000 infielders to pick from, right? That was just like his thing. So that was his drafting kink. So I'm just, to me, if you can find a way to move him to get somebody that's more equipped or more proven, then you do that, right? We've seen it happen with Dave Dombrowski, and it worked. We see him doing it over there in Philly. They've been to the World Series, like it has worked. So it's like, yes, use what you have in the farm system, continue to develop them, and then go. Once again, you don't have to be Tampa Bay, you don't have to be a Kansas City. And it's funny, I think they just gave this guy an extension, but I would love for them to go get someone like a Bobby Witt. I know that they're not going to trade him from over there. You know what I'm saying? Like he would be tailor made to play over here. I think it's people from this, that's from this. So like that would be awesome. Or like we talked about on a previous show, you go for the big fish next season and say, okay, Vlad, come on to Boston, come be, come be the man, here, and then you move off Cassis. Because to me, I thought they were gonna move him for like a Luis Castillo and out of Seattle. I like Luis Castillo. They should have got him a few years ago from Cincinnati, but that didn't happen. But yeah, I'm with it. I might make it happen somehow, some way, get it done. But it's a good problem to have, like you said, and either way, I look forward to them, having a good season. Like I said, hoping that not only they stay healthy, but that is a good health across the board, so we can see good baseball. Because I thought the playoffs last year were really good, but it's different when Boston's involved. It's different when New York's involved. It's different when LA's involved. All the big market teams. So I want to get back to that because I'm not trying to watch Arizona and Texas next year. Like, I'm not trying to watch something like that. I'd rather see two big market teams like we did this year. So, and any final words before we get out of here?
I think it's going to be a very good baseball season for the Red Sox this season. I don't think the roster is complete yet. I was flabbergasted that's why I wasn't looking at you for the last 5 minutes ago, because I was just reading through the Red Sox depth chart and I was like, man, there's a lot of positions that are crowded there. So we're going to see. We're still 3 weeks of spring training left before we get to what do we open it? Do we open it up this year?
Yeah. No, they're open on the road on the 27th against Texas. Opening day will be April 4th, which is a Friday, against St. Louis, I believe. So at 210. So,
I think it's I have a feeling that I haven't felt to the Red Sox in probably 3 or 4 years right now, and that's optimistic.
right.
So
Right, and once again, that's a better feeling to be in, than to be, the opposite. But hey, continue to stay optimistic about the show. So for Craig D'Alessandro, I'm Hollywood Ray Sean Buchanan. Until next time, we'll see you.
Make Marvin tease. Just stay tuned, everybody.
Stay tuned. That's right. We got more coming. So we'll see you.
We can't talk about it yet, but
yeah, it's coming. Big things coming. Peace.
Hi, I'm Sherilyn Fenn from Twin Peaks. What did you do on your last Saturday night?
Did you hear something?
Toilet paper.
There's none. Nada. The reserves have gone dry. People are hoarding it. I should have done that.
They're all out of hand sanitizer at my Target.
Mark, when did you last watch the news?
We are getting reports of forced quarantines in China, Japan, and now Italy.
You're cutting onions in half and putting them around your apartment.
Yes, exactly. It kills the COVID.
Excuse me?
Let's go. Let's go. Get in.
Vamos, rápido.
Have you ever driven one of these?
Never.
I'll drive, ladies.
I've got the keys.
Excuse me, I'm lost. I'm looking for my wife. I got turned around.
Join me, Eric Roberts, Jennifer Elise Cox, and Ed Asner for The Last Saturday Night, an Electrocast podcast. You'll love it. Electrocast. Electrocast.